Here we go again. We have a bunch of new missions to do to unlock one of the new champions. As you can see, I am on the test server, and that is not the champion currently seen down here. It is going to be the new guy. I still don't have him yet. I don't know what this is going to be about. Instead, for this mini-series, we're going to focus on the level 25 dungeons, starting with the dragon. And I thought this was going to be really hard. It turns out it's hard, but I can still do it with the champions that I have on my account built as they are. So if you guys have been following my recent updated builds for 2021, as I said in there, it's always been about preparing for the future. As you can see right here, we can still somewhat nuke each of the waves with the combo of Lydia. We have Seer, we also have Renegade, but I did have to bring in more buffs, and that came in the form of a Mausoleum Mage. So it is perhaps a little bit slower for the boss himself, but you also need to survive here. This guy hits really, really hard. My suggestion is that you bring decrease attack. I don't currently have it on my team, not the end of the world. I can still nuke and deal a good amount of damage with Seer and all those buffs, but then we have an Occult Brawler as our dedicated poisoner to take care of this. I chose Occult Brawler because in this case he is the strong affinity, and also because he's kind of the only poisoner I still have built on my main account on the live server because of clan boss and whatnot. So as you can see right here, we are loading up the boss with all those poisons. We do have very high accuracy, as you guys will see in a second once we go over the builds. Mausoleum Mage here is also really clutch because you have those extra buffs, you do have a shield set on him, and you can cleanse. All right, so cleansing or removing a lot of those debuffs that can kill you, as you saw right there, although this guy also hits really hard. So we lost Renegade. That's all right. At this point, I don't need her really anymore. It's just all about Occult Brawler finishing off this boss. So I thought about using Brogni instead of Mausoleum Mage, which I think could still work, but you don't have a reliable cleanse like we do with our Mausoleum Mage. So I'm going to say this champion is still pretty clutch for this. As you can see right here, sub 2 minutes for our run, still pretty reasonable. Now let's go check out the gear. And the first one on our list is Seer. So I'm just going to briefly go over her because I'm about to make a dedicated video for her. Here are the total stats. All right, so again, working for everything, hard Doom Tower, normal tower, whatever, and now also working for level 25 dungeons. All the skills are done. For the masteries, here are the ones that I am currently using. Eagle Eye for the tier 6 because I still cannot afford to have Helm Smasher on this build. I still need to squeeze out a little bit more accuracy from this champ. Then we have our trusty Lydia. I just did the build video on her. Nothing has changed. She is the exact same thing as she is on the live server. 296 speed, 337 for resistance, 375 for the accuracy. All the skills are done on this champion. For the masteries, we have Eagle Eye 4 of the tier 6, and then for defense here, a little bit more survivability. Then we have our Renegade, which doesn't have all of her gear maxed out, so I suppose she might last a little bit longer if I were able to max this out. This will come over time. I will make a separate build video on her as well. 189 speed, kind of important for the tuning for the level 20 dungeons, and also obviously here it continues to be the same speeds, I believe. Therefore, so as long as you have this and the other ones that you have on my guides, you can still do all those speed runs. I suppose you can have more accuracy for her to land her debuffs, but again, we don't really use her for that. It's literally just for the reset of the skills with her A3. That's pretty much it. And then for the masteries, we do have Bulwark on her for the tier 6 to survive a little bit better with the other champions. But as you can imagine, she's taking more damage because of that and therefore dies early. Then we have Mausoleum Mage, which is geared here on the test server, but not on the live. Brogni, all right, Under Priest Brogni is wearing this gear right now. So if anything, it's easy for me to swap back and forth. And I will also make a dedicated video for him. 240 speed, 445 resistance. That was mainly for tag arena. You certainly don't need as much for these dungeons. Probably around 360-ish is fine. All the skills are done. I do have him in a shield set. I think that's pretty important. And then for the masteries, we do have Unshakable for the tier 6. And then a little bit more in the support tree here for bigger heals. Again, his A3 is actually pretty important. I think it continues to be really, really solid even for the level 25 dungeons. And finally, we have the Occult Brawler, my main poisoner that I still use on my account. I don't really use Frozen Banshee. I don't really use Xavier right now. now. I might get around to using them, but what I'm saying is that he was geared like this for pretty much the clan boss, my old clan boss build. So lifesteal and speed. You do want the right amount of speed if you want to go full auto with this champion. The defense is a little bit low right now. That is because I used to have a defense banner. In this case, I got to go with accuracy to push to higher levels of accuracy, as I assume the dragon has more resistance. So eventually I might play around with this to try and keep the same speed, good offensive stats, but way more defense if I want this guy to keep being useful against the clan boss. All the skills are done. And then for the masteries, a pretty typical clan boss build with War Master for the tier 6, and we have Master Hexer and Sniper right there. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 champions for my Dragon 25 sub 2 minute run. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.